Recon Athlete, episode 109? 109. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Luceto is somewhere. Shout out to Snoop Daniel in the green room. Man, I tell you what, man. 3 fantasy football games for me, because that's why everybody's tuning in, because they want to know how my fantasy team did. 3 fantasy football games, dude. 3 L's, bro.
For real?
3 L's, bro. Yeah, dude. It was bad, dude. It was bad.
Okay, so it's
bad,
it's
dude.
8:02. Over under in the next 2 minutes. Emo chimes in on the watch party.
Oh, I don't know, because he beat me on one league.
He beat all of us.
He beat me in was it? I don't know.
In
It was
league.
in my Wastewood, our Wastewood league.
Yeah.
And I lost to and that's what made it even worse, man. I lost to BJ in one league. I lost to Emo in another league. I lost to I don't know who I lost to in the Dirty Dozen. So I got, my 3 leagues are Dirty Dozen. That's the one I've been in for like 18 years. Wastewood is all my Westwood homies, and then of course Recon League. And Recon League I lost to BJ. Oh man.
Yeah, it was rough.
It's rough, man.
League.
It was rough, man.
I saw your match. I saw it. I was like,
And so I'm like, working at the restaurant on the Sundays, so I was like, I had to remind myself to go and look, and I'm kind of worried about that right now too, because there's like those late injuries and stuff like that too. So I'm about to put my notifications on, because I don't really like having notifications on my phone,
okay.
But I'm gonna have to turn it on for ESPN. Like get those late scratches or whatnot.
maybe you just work too much.
Maybe I do. But yeah, I didn't really make any waiver wire moves. Just because I was.
Yes, you did.
I did?
You took one of my guys I was waiting for.
Which one? Malcolm Brown?
Yes.
That was the only one that I made.
Well, and the reason I was a little upset about it was because I'm like, I lost, but then I thought to myself, wait, well, Chris lost by a larger margin. That's why you were first in the waiver wire.
Oh, okay. Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
That's how it worked? Okay. Yeah, man. It was, that's the only one. BJ, of course, was trying to talk me out of going to get Malcolm Brown, so,
Yeah, I said BJ trade. He rejected it. That was funny. I was trolling.
I heard you made a trade.
Yeah, I made a trade.
What was the trade? BJ sent me a complaining text this morning.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know what the trade is. He was just like, Paul's over here like fleecing people, and I was like, okay.
Fleecing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the original deal was not agreed upon by the 2 parties.
Okay.
So the final deal was Cam Newton for David Johnson. And I think BJ's a little salty because I play him this week.
So you got Cam Newton?
I traded Cam Newton.
You traded Cam Newton.
The deal goes through tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's bad.
But I didn't get Malcolm Brown. I didn't get Naheem. I can't say Naheem Hines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get the defense I wanted. I didn't get anything I wanted from the waiver wire.
Man.
So BJ, yeah, deals go through with the right price.
Yeah, Cam Newton. He had a good game, man. So it was a good time to, get him off your roster if you're gonna get something for him. What was it? 2 rushing touchdowns? I think so.
He's according to Yates on ESPN, he's a set it and forget it. So sell high, buy low.
Yeah,
business.
That's true. Very, very, very true. So Cam Newton, good game. Patriots 21-11 winners over the Dolphins. Also, we did our pick'em as well. Zach won. Zach won. Did you see this?
No, I was too busy watching my game come down to the wire, and I lost to Emo.
Zach had 11. I think it was 11.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I had 9 and you had 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of bad ball at the end in the fourth quarters. That's why it ended up, in my opinion, that way.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, you had coaches not properly calling games in the third quarters and the fourth quarters. Mm-hmm. You had quarterbacks losing games for their teams in the fourth quarters. And then you had defensives letting quarterbacks who have no business starting in the NFL come back and beat you on late fourth quarter drives.
Yeah, and I think there was one. I think the one that Zach got over us was the Cowboys. He picked the Rams.
He picked in spite.
Yeah. He went Rams over Cowboys, so he got that one. Okay. I think one I got over y'all was the Cardinals. I picked the Cardinals to beat the 49ers.
Which has no business happening, but it did.
And then the Chargers beating the Bengals.
Which had no business happening, but it did.
Yeah, so I had that one, and I think that was it.
Yeah, I'm a kicker, and I have 2 hamstring injuries simultaneously. Load of shit.
Yeah, so yeah, it was that was pretty cool. I haven't really done a pick 'em. We were trying to get Wes in, but we couldn't figure out the thing, man. I don't know what was happening.
Yeah, I sent it out late, and I tried to send him the information before the first games ended Sunday, but I think it was too late.
But yeah, we got we'll have it for this Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I sent him everything.
Yeah. So we got so we'll get Wes involved. But yeah, I mean 11. What is that? 16 games. 11 of 16 is pretty good, Zach.
Yeah, 11 of 16 games for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so we have to see what. We have to give him $10 and still put some money on some games there. But yeah, so I did 9, and then there was only one. I can't pull it up here, but there was one game where we all lost, and I think that was the Washington football team beating the Eagles.
Yeah, that was
the only one that we all picked the same, and we all lost.
But shout out to Coach Ron Rivera for having his team with a strong enough mindset to kind of play 4 quarters, because we know the Eagles are going to play a first half, because that's Carson Wentz's MO, and really didn't want to get into football talk yet, but it's just the kind of way it goes.
Why didn't you want to get into football talk?
I don't know. I just felt like we usually get warmed up first, and then we wait for Zach to sit down late like a diva. And, Wes, I think, won $10 calling Zach being late, and I had to send him the GIF for Terminator 2 whenever they go hack the ATM, and he's like, easy money.
Easy money, yeah. Wes is saying that Zach only won because Wes didn't. He said he only won because I didn't play.
Word. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the other ones that we did. But it was the Cowboys. The Cowboys or the Rams pick really was his.
I gotta come clean.
What?
Yo, I'm back on Minshew Mania, man. I'm back on. I saw that it's a goatee now.
He was at 1920.
Bro, I'm like, you know what? Look, if he's gonna throw like this and beat teams he's not supposed to be even competing with, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna have it on ESPN Red Zone #no ad. And I'm gonna watch him do what he does.
He did have a good game.
I mean, he had an excellent game.
I mean, he was very efficient. Very efficient. I think it was 19 of 20.
Bro,
it's pretty good.
That's awesome. No picks. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, what do you think it was for
running game?
Yeah.
All day. It easily is the running game in the line of scrimmage when you can throw off a play action. And you don't have to carry the game. He had 20 attempts. You're telling me, give me 20 attempts a game, and I don't know, what do you have, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns? Yeah. No picks, easy. When the defense is unbalanced, bro, easy money.
Yeah. So, we'll see. So.
Zach. What's so funny?
Zach says, Wes didn't even get my order right at the restaurant. No way he picking more games than me.
Is Wes, is that true?
No.
Can we get a fact checker on that one?
Oh, no. I do not know. But yeah, so Minshew Mania, Paul's back on board. I'm not on board yet.
I'm gonna lead that. I'm gonna lead the damn bandwagon.
All right.
I'll lead that.
I'll let you do that.
I'll lead the parade.
I'll let you do that.
What do they call those marching leaders with the big staff? What do they call
the band director? Or no, the yeah. I don't know, dude.
I don't know. I don't know. Somebody tell us in the comments.
Director. Yeah. Let me know. So Minshew Mania, other quarterbacks that did really well. Lamar Jackson, of course, 3 touchdowns.
Better believe it.
Aaron Rodgers is going after an MVP season because
he's pissed.
He's mad.
He's pissed.
Russell Wilson just being Russell Wilson. Yep. I think it was 33 of 37 or something like something ridiculous.
DK Metcalf dropped 2 of those.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous. I think that was the one that I picked in Atlanta.
But they were due. They were at home. They were across the United States. You would have thought, right? Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
He has like a new handle right now, doesn't he? Called I think it's like the something with the U. Mm-hmm. The Universal or something like that. I don't know if you've seen that on Twitter.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's got like a new handle. I was trying not to pick up my phone, but I guess.
Is he starting a like a cult or something like that?
No, I mean he could. He's got that kind of personality.
Zach and Wes are going at each other on the watch party right now.
They're just dropping bombs on each other right now. That's like, it's funny how our watch party is like almost as entertaining or more entertaining than us right now.
Yeah,
y'all might as well just like come watch the watch party.
Yeah, go to the watch party and just kind of look at Zach and Wes going at each other right now. Let's see, and I hear is Mr. Zach Lucetto coming in, so we'll let him get settled. And yeah, so let me see. Jacksonville. See, I mean, Phillip Rivers wasn't bad.
Oh, Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Mr. Unlimited.
Really?
Mr. Unlimited. Cringeworthy or not?
Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited.
What does that mean? Unlimited what?
Apparently fantasy points.
Yeah. What's up, Zach? Oh, my bad.
What's
Gotta
up?
turn your mic
Raise
on.
the level.
Hey, good job on the pick 'em, dude.
Thanks. I thought it was gonna be like a bunch of people, and it was only us three in it. We could have just texted each other.
I told everybody to raise their hand, send them an invite.
Yeah.
All they be late.
We'll get Wes in there. I think BJ will do it. Emo might do it too.
And so we all lost our recon matchups.
You
Did we?
didn't.
Oh, I did. I won.
You won.
Oh
You
shoot.
did? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I won.
you won.
Oh, man, I lost all three of my.
I'm waiting for Emo. Has Emo said anything?
No, he ain't on here, man. I don't know what he's doing.
He must be busy.
I have no idea what he's doing right
He
now.
said he was looking forward to the show tonight, so.
Yeah, because I was going to talk about how he beat me in the Wastewood League. But,
And I was gonna shake his hand and say good game, I talk a lot of ish.
Yeah.
But if I lose or if I win, it's a gracious win or loss.
Yeah. So one of the games that I picked over, I think I got one up on y'all, was the Bears over the Lions. Did you pick the Bears or Lions? You went Lions, didn't you?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. So Bears 27, Lions 23. Mr. Trubisky, I guess, got tired of everybody talking trash about him.
Got lucky.
3 touchdowns.
I think I picked the
in
Bears.
fourth quarter.
Got lucky.
You think you got lucky?
How many touchdowns did he have in the fourth quarter?
3.
Yeah. Lucky.
How was that?
He was on the verge of being. They
How-
brought in Nick Foles to replace him in the offseason. Yeah. Lucky.
I don't know, man. I mean, it's just like it, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, he's upset that everybody's talking trash. He's upset that they brought in Nick Foles. I mean, it's just like Aaron Rodgers upset that they, drafted that dude.
Excuse me. Are you comparing Aaron Rodgers and Mitchell Trubisky?
I mean, not like
Okay.
as players, but
Okay.
as motivational factors. That's what I'm comparing.
Competitors, maybe?
Motivational factors. That's what I'm comparing right now.
That just because they're sure
Just
will.
because they're both first, starting quarterbacks, and they had other quarterbacks, possibly their replacements, brought in over the offseason. So it makes you a little bit more focused, don't you think,
No.
Zach?
I agree with you. I mean, they both like had something to like prove, like
Right.
someone to prove wrong.
I mean, that's what I think. Or the Lions just suck too. But
But I mean, both of those teams suck. So
That's true. Another game that I think y'all got and I missed was the Panthers-Raiders. Raiders 34, Panthers 30. Josh Jacobs with 3 touchdowns. So I want to shout out to my homeboy Nate. He's been talking about Josh Jacobs. He was like totally hyped about keeping Josh Jacobs, and I was just like, cool, man. I was like, yeah, bro. And then like 3 touchdowns first game. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, you should be excited. So Raiders 34, Panthers 30. Bills over the Jets. We all got that one. I don't think anybody picked the Jets to win that, right?
I didn't.
Yeah. Bills, Ravens and Browns. Did any of you check? Did y'all pick the Browns? I didn't.
Hell
So
No. Baker Mayfield looking bad, dude.
y'all both got 9 right.
No, he got 7.
7.
I got 9. You got 11.
I know. I won that. I knew that.
Yeah. Baker Mayfield. Are y'all worried about him, or is it
Yeah.
just the Ravens? Just like,
Man, I'm worried about them because those commercials are so good. But there's probably a limited amount of those left.
Yeah, Baker's. I think this is the last tour.
this
season.
This season?
Yeah, this season.
You think this is it?
He's been through 3 head coaches and not successful at all.
Oh.
He's got 2 All-Pro receivers, not successful at all. All-Pro running back, not successful at all. Pro Bowl caliber.
He's got 2 good running backs.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt. too.
Kareem Hunt's
Yeah.
decent.
Yeah,
Nick
he's got a
Chubb.
solid tight end now.
I think they had like 6 yards per carry against the Ravens, those 2. I mean, granted, they had to throw the ball a lot because they were getting their butts kicked, but
Hey man, get your progressive money or whatever insurance money it is, Hulu money. Get it now because this is it.
Man, come on, Baker.
Hey,
Come on, bro.
Maybe he just wasn't what we thought he was.
I mean, I definitely wasn't a fan when he was at OU. You know, I mean, like he was kind of, you know, I mean, because he's playing for OU, but yeah, I mean, it's hard not to pull for the guy. You know, being from Lake Travis, Austin area.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think you got a point.
Nick Foles got a ring.
That's true, and he's a second string quarterback. So yeah, you're right. So maybe. We'll see. I mean, we got Baker Mayfield versus Joe Burrow tomorrow night.
That'll be fun.
Joe Burrow losing his NFL debut to Tyrod Taylor in the Chargers, 16-13. He didn't have any touchdown passes. I think he only had one pick.
Joe Burrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a rushing touchdown.
Yep. First touchdown.
And they lost to the Chargers, but it was wasn't it there was a controversial call at the end, or I think it was a good call.
There was similar to what it happened in the Cowboys game. There was a offensive PI it was called against AJ Green happenstance, and that kind of nullified their first down, and so they had to kick. And of course, for whoever watched it, their kicker pulled both his hammies at the same time. Apparently,
how do you do that?
That's a great question.
Zach, have you ever pulled both your hamstrings at the same time?
Nope.
Have you ever pulled a hamstring?
Mm-hmm.
Do you run fast enough?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question you should ask me.
Have you ever pulled a hamstring?
Hell no. Because I don't run that fast.
Yeah, so Chargers beating the Bengals. So we got Burrow and Baker tomorrow. Y'all excited about Burrow and Baker?
Because I have AJ Green, that's why.
Browns and Bengals?
I have AJ Green in the league too, but I don't know. It wasn't very promising.
Yeah, he had quiet 5 for 51 yards. 5 for 51. Quiet. I
mean,
think
like,
this week it'll blow up. Personally.
I think he looked like he was looking at him a lot, but I just
Targets,
don't know if Burrow's gonna get it to him.
No.
Because I mean, did you watch that game?
I watched it on NFL Red
Zone.
Zone.
Yeah. So the place I watched the game, that dude is a Bengals fan. He's from Ohio, so he has a Sunday ticket.
Yeah.
So I got to watch like the majority of that whole game, and he didn't look that good.
Who, Burrow or Green?
Burrow.
Well, I think it's purely because his offensive line is garbage.
Well, yeah, but that's a huge factor. I think, I do think he's going to run the ball though.
I agree. I think he's going to he may compete with Cam for touchdowns on the year by quarterback rushing.
So who'd be this year's Josh Allen?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Not just because he's
with just as big an arm.
Not just because he's a white guy that runs the ball from the quarterback
he's deceptively
position.
quick too, because he's solid 6'5". I mean, he's a tall kid just like Josh Allen.
Yeah, and if you can run the ball, I mean, and your line isn't going to protect you, then that's the way to,
get in the
end zone.
For real.
Get yourself in there.
Hell yeah.
So I don't know. Bengals Browns tomorrow night. I'm excited to watch Joe Burrow, I guess, but you've never been excited about Cleveland versus Cincinnati. So
well, we could. I mean, I think there's going to be enough star power for a Thursday night game. It's just can the offense of Cleveland execute? That's the question. And Baker sometimes finds that little bit of it factor on primetime games, at Thursday or Sunday or Monday night. Let's see if he can do it that night, because I'm telling you right now, rumor mill is churning with OBJ trades, either to New England, either to Seattle. Who knows? But I think that OBJ wants out. If they're not gonna win, he wants to be dealt.
But he's not, like, all the times they're what?
Go ahead.
All the times that they're like throwing to OBJ though, like, he's not getting separation like he used to. Like, it's not like yeah, the team is bad, but like he's not really. I mean, when AJ Green was healthy, like, he was always putting up points. Like, he was always getting open on a bad team.
I kind of, would you be opposed to chalk that up to the want to? Maybe him not going full speed? Because that's where I would go with that part of it.
Yeah, maybe, but
because why if your 100% isn't the 100% of maybe some of your players, Baker Mayfield. And I'm not saying, what I'm saying is that his ceiling is higher than Baker's, and so his 80% is Baker's 100. That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, like, if let's think about other, like, top tier receivers. Like, Jarvis Landry has had good seasons with the Browns. Mike Evans always has good years with the Bucks, and they didn't get Tom Brady until this year. AJ Green, Keenan Allen. The Chargers haven't always been good. So I mean, I feel like if he's gonna be the like receiver that he always like talks about himself as, and how people talk about him as, like he should be at that level no matter what.
That's a good point. If you're going to claim to be elite, you got to perform to be elite. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, because when he was in New York Giants, and we're talking about Odell Beckham Jr. by the way. I mean, when he was with the Giants, he had Eli Manning, who is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
2-time Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, Hall of Fame quarterback. And you have a Hall of Fame quarterback, and then all of a sudden you go to, no offense, Baker Mayfield, who's struggling right now. You have to do something on your own. You have to make the plays.
Yeah, and I have seen Baker in games past last year, especially where he'll get open and the ball doesn't get there for whatever reason. And so it's like, if you're not going to get the targets, I think I'm just kind of giving Odell the benefit of the doubt here. And if you're not getting the targets, he's probably not going to use his energy. That's just kind of where I'm at with it.
But if you're not getting open, you're not going to get the targets.
That's great. And it's kind of like where I'm at with it is, if you do the work and you're not getting the targets from your body of work during the season, and then this year, nothing's changed, I think for him, that's where he possibly could be finding a little bit of difficulty. But I don't disagree with your argument.
But I think if he like, because he's already getting talked about less and less. I would say, in the court of popular opinion and stuff, our public opinion or whatever that saying is. If he asks for a trade again, I think he's loses relevancy even more.
Even if he goes to a big time team or a quarterback with a big arm, like let's say he goes to.
You think it's the market?
Yeah, I personally, it's OBJ. Yeah, he's
goes from New York to Cleveland, and he's just like,
put him in LA.
Yeah.
Put him with the Rams. Put him with put him with the Chargers. Big time spotlight on him. Put him in New England with Cam. They're gonna ball. They don't have any big time receivers. Put him in Seattle across from DK Metcalf. Let him. God, I can't think of the other one. I think is his
Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett, and you have DK. Bro, that's put OBJ in the slot.
But it's just tough though, because then you're going to an even more irrelevant team. Like the Browns are going to be more relevant than the Rams or the Chargers or whatever. Just no one. The Chargers used to not sell out a soccer stadium, so like they're not like super popular like places, and then so you have that working against you if you go to those places, which will probably be better, more beneficial to him. And then if you go to the Seahawks, then you're already joining like a packed receiver room.
Yeah, but we already see that big names come in threes in this receiving core, from Arizona to Dallas to I can't think of the other one off the top of my head, but we're starting to see that trend where triplets are kind of coming out in the receiving core. I think if you're a 1-0 team like the Patriots, like Seattle, like the Rams, you're definitely relevant in those markets.
I think maybe the change of scenery for Odell Beckham Jr. could give him a little bit of an extra, motivational factor. And we're talking about motivational factors.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's hard. But watching, I didn't get to see, a lot of the games because I was working, but even watching the highlights of that Browns game, Baker was just on the run most of the time. They were trying to do some play action, but he was just, on skates most of the time. So maybe if he gets a little bit of help, Odell gets open, and I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to do predictions yet for tomorrow night because we're still kind of going through week one. Tampa Bay, losing to New Orleans. All of a sudden, Tom Brady's not a good quarterback, according to some people. Shout out to Emo who got on the watch party.
I saw this like meme or whatever of Tom Brady like sitting on the bench, zoned out, and the caption said, "When you realize you're a system quarterback."
I've seen that. Yeah.
Do you believe that? Do y'all believe that Tom Brady is a system quarterback? Come on.
No.
Really? He just. The Saints were good, right?
Saints are very good.
But the Bucs are supposed to be good.
Yeah. Well, they have a hobbled Mike Evans.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd personally think that the offensive line still hasn't come under full control with Tom Brady. I think the receivers are still a little bit off. We saw that with Mike Evans breaking off a route, Well,
I might be wrong about Chris Godwin too.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too is, did you see the long passes that Tom was throwing that
yeah,
way?
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing where he's still getting acclimated to the offense, and I think the players are getting acclimated to him being that type of fiery, no nonsense guy. Because I've saw Tom give some side eye to some Mike Evans in the huddle, and Mike Evans does not come across as a weak individual,
right?
But he looked like a freshman at A&M in that huddle with Tom Brady there. I saw him from the sky cam looking left, looking right, like, I better not F this up because Tom's going to get pissed.
Yeah.
So I think they're just still in that learning curve now.
Mike Evans shouldn't have played.
I agree, 100%.
I mean, in the first game, like, you're not going to gain anything. It's like a lose-lose situation. If they do good, it's like the first game. If they do bad, it's he was hurt. You know, like, he shouldn't have played.
Yeah. So, but it's also a big win for the Saints on the other side of the ball, though.
Yeah, and it's a divisional game, too.
Mm-hmm. You know, because everybody's talking about, I mean, that's all everybody talked about in the offseason was Tampa Bay, you know, Tampa Bay, this and stuff. And you're the Saints and Drew Brees, you're like, okay, whatever.
That could be one of those things with the Saints, though, is like this win could instill like a false sense of confidence. Because I don't think, because the Bucs were bad on this weekend. The Bucs were bad. So, like, I feel like people are dubbing the Saints as going to be like extremely, extremely good because you're beating the Bucs with Tom Brady and all these pieces, but I don't think we know enough about either of those teams.
Yeah, not quite yet.
Yeah,
still early. We're still early, and you know, that's what I have to tell myself in all my fantasy leagues. And Emo's he's finally on here talking trash.
Okay.
You know, so he says Paul don't like me right now. I beat him in the decimals.
That's not true. I never said I didn't like you. Never said that.
Whatever. We'll get to the stars a little bit later. Wes, he's saying go Stars. He's also inviting Zach over to play some hockey on the Xbox at some point.
Hockey. They make hockey games.
Bro, yeah, hockey's fun.
Yeah, they make the hockey games. I mean, I remember the old hockey game on Nintendo, the original one. Arizona.
On Nintendo?
Nintendo, yeah.
Is it Nintendo?
Nintendo.
Oh, I thought.
Arizona at San Francisco. Arizona wins 24-20, and then of course let's get to our loss because Wes says on here that Dallas is a bleeping joke. 20-17, LA Rams over the Dallas Cowboys.
Let me get warmed up real quick.
All right, let Paul get warmed up over there real quick. Paul.
No, come on.
I'll let you start. I'll let you start.
I'm not ready yet.
I'll let you start. You're not ready yet? Are you sure?
I mean, I'm going to have to say one thing.
Well, then say your one thing.
Jerry Jones, you serve it up to us every year, and we take the bait.
Okay, how much do you put on the call?
I put this on Jerry Jones.
So
all of this is Jerry Jones'
the pass
fault.
Interference.
All of this is Jerry's fault.
Where the Rams player was like,
this is all Jerry's
fault. Did y'all
fault.
see the meme where the Rams player and then they showed Ricky from Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
And they kind of looked the same.
Yeah.
Like
I saw it. It was spot on.
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey was spot on.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, but here's the deal too. Watching the game, when I see, what is it, a minute and a half, about 90 seconds or something like that, the Cowboys get the ball and Dak Prescott has to go 90 yards, I'm like, we lose. I had no faith. I'm like, we're not going to win this game. No way.
What about the other two possessions in the fourth quarter?
Right. I was like, there's no way Dak's going to get us down the field.
3 possessions in the fourth quarter.
But he did, but they had that pass interference, so I don't know.
And that's why I said I was gonna rip Dak, and I said, you know what? Let me make one thing real quick
so
clear for the rest of the year.
What's Jerry Jones like? Why do you?
Let me just make this real clear. Dakota Prescott is a fantastic human being.
He's a great guy.
I want that to be the precedent.
And most people are. Yeah.
And when I talk about Dak Prescott, I'm talking about the football player only.
Yeah.
Not the human being.
Right. He's a great guy.
Now back to the football player. Dak Prescott is a 4th-round quarterback. Mm-hmm. And he will always be a 4th-round quarterback. And I blame Jerry Jones for making the move not to bring in a top quarterback like Cam Newton in the offseason. We had the cap space to do it. You didn't sign Dak Prescott. So then why did we not pick a quarterback to the level of Cam at the appropriate time right before New England? Mm-hmm. Their deal still hadn't gotten done. You could have gotten probably Cam for $2 million a year, which is just a little bit more than what he's getting paid now. We went out, and I think Dallas did a great job, hit a home run with Aldon Smith. Mm-hmm. Home run. Yeah. The only guy who played defense.
He had a great game.
Leighton Vander Esch is glass. Sean Lee is glass. Those are Jerry Jones picks.
Leighton Vander Esch, I don't know why.
Glass.
I do not. And that's another one. I mean, you guys know.
University of Texas
you-
has a lot of those too.
You know how I've not been an LVE fan like since the beginning. I was like, he just doesn't look like a linebacker.
Dude, you got that wolf tattoo on your chest, dude. I've seen it.
No, bro. I mean, come
Have
on,
you
man.
seen
Y'all
his
know.
neck?
He's just not a
Pencil.
linebacker. He's not built like a linebacker.
No.
You can't have somebody like that playing middle linebacker in the NFL.
No.
It just never didn't make sense to me from the beginning. I mean, yeah, he was a great, at where was it, Boise State?
Boise.
Boise. Don't say Boise. They get mad. It's Boise.
Okay.
Boise State. It's kind of like Louisville.
That blue state.
Bluefield
State.
Bluefield. He was great there. Yeah, I mean, at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can play in the MAC.
Right. You're great at that level. Great. He's not going to play in the NFL, and that's another Jerry Jones thing, like you said. And when I heard that he broke his collarbone, right?
Yeah, dude. Your whole body is supposed to absorb energy as a linebacker.
Yeah.
And your collarbone breaks?
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Did they have a full off season? No. Did they have preseason football? No. And I thought this may happen.
Yeah, but you're not going to train your collarbone,
Yeah, but you can train your upper body and your traps in your neck to absorb the concussion from a blow. Therefore, all that energy doesn't go to your collarbone. Now, getting back to Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, look, Jerry, you went and signed Brandon Carr. Why didn't you go get Earl Thomas?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you wouldn't have to be in those 3 possessions in the fourth quarter. Maybe Earl Thomas splits the field. Changes the field possession. Maybe he intercepts the ball and takes it back to the house where you don't have to put all the pressure on Dak Prescott. Mm-hmm. You have a plethora of talent. You have a strong offensive line. Not a great. You have a strong offensive line. Don't make Dak Prescott go win the games in the fourth quarter. Let that be Zeke's job to get done. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a backup tight end who's relevant and Jarwin is the starting guy, you're not going to be successful. Mm-hmm. Plenty of movement in the free agency at the tight end position this last year. Jerry Jones, it's your fault.
So the Cowboys have the Falcons this weekend. They play at noon. Texans are playing the later game. Falcons, Cowboys. You expect the same result? Cowboys, because I'm pretty sure that the Falcons are favored in this game. Pretty sure. I haven't looked, but
so off the top of my head,
Maybe they're not because Cowboys are at home.
Yeah, because Dallas is at home.
Yeah.
So we'll get to the spread or the lines later, but
we'll do that Saturday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. So with that being said, I like Dallas in the matchup because I saw how poorly Atlanta played this past Sunday. Mm-hmm. But Dak Prescott can't win. Does not need to be the ball. Does not need to be in his hands to win the game. Mm-hmm. If you are going to make him go win the game, I am not going to have faith it's going to get done.
Right.
It's just not.
No, it's not going to. So we'll see. I don't know. I know Zach gets really excited about us talking about the Cowboys, but
I think when I was watching that Cowboys game on that pass interference, I think like Skip Bayless has something like worked in with the league where like if they're gonna lose, there's always an excuse. There's always like a controversial call. Yeah. And then I like the Cowboys next week too because again I think Skip Bayless always has where if the Cowboys lose a game they shouldn't, they'll come back and win the next one. Okay. So I think I would have the Cowboys.
Motivating factors.
Yeah. But you also have to get, you got to give the other side credit. I mean, the Rams, they're not bad. It's not a bad.
And honestly, that's a great play by Jalen Ramsey too.
Yeah.
To like you don't see DBs sell calls like that. You don't do it. Like you see receivers do it. You see quarterbacks do it. You see,
soccer
running backs do it like with face masks and stuff like that.
You see LeBron James do it.
Yeah, but like for a DB to do it, that's a great play.
Yeah. Jared Goff goes for 275. Zeke almost has 100, and Robert Woods was the leading receiver in that game with 105 yards. And then the Monday night matchups, I didn't stay up Monday to see.
I did.
You did? I didn't watch it. Pittsburgh at New York. Pittsburgh with a 26-16 win. That Pittsburgh defense looked pretty dang good. Shout out to Darius Slayton. He was my captain on my on my showdown. You know,
That was a good one.
won me $4. Woohoo! I'm rich.
Nice.
Benny
I
Snell.
downloaded that app. over
You got
the weekend.
DraftKings?
Yeah.
Going to the dark side.
Are you?
Yeah. I put $10 on it. We'll see what happens.
Come to the dark
Well, I
side.
mainly did it for college because it's the only one
Yeah.
that has college.
Oh, okay.
Because I was gonna. Someone needs to cue that that Dave Chappelle Rick James meme. He's like in the smoke coming here
Yes.
with his dreads
Yeah.
on.
So the Steelers getting off on a good footnote.
They look strong.
Benny Snell Jr. had 113 yards.
They
James
don't have
Conner.
a run game though.
James Conner owners are.
Snell.
Yeah.
Connor got hurt
He got
in the
hurt.
game a little bit about midway in the second quarter, and then Benny Snell.
Benny Snell.
He reminds me of Willie Parker. Maybe a
Oh,
little bit
does he?
2 inches shorter, but he doesn't have the speed Willie Parker used to have. But he's kind of built that same body type. And
Yeah.
he's if you haven't, you may want to go get him if you haven't done so already. But I think he's going to do very well for the Steelers. And Big Ben, they're doing some kind of paper mache, kind of custom arm bandages for him, and he's keeping his arm like warm, his elbow warm, like the whole game, and just starting to turn it on. He was real rusty in the first half, look a lot stronger in the second half.
Juju Smith-Schuster stock rising back up
Yeah.
for sure.
It's because of Big Ben for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I had those. I had those two on the not in that lineup too. So Saquon Barkley owners like me, should I be worried?
Bro, that offensive line, I thought they were going to improve. Soldier wasn't playing Sunday. I don't know if they can get anything going on third down with Evan Ingram from Danny Dimes. So I don't know, man. I would be concerned.
I think
If he has
Saquon
one good
and-
game,
and-
so if he has one good, let's say he has a good game next week, should I trade him?
If somebody will trade with you,
Okay.
I think him and Christian Christian McCaffrey are in very similar situations. They're both by far the best player on like a very, very bad team.
Yeah.
So do you put your stock in the team or do you put your stock in the player? If you put your stock in the team, then you're like trying to get rid of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you say like Saquon Barkley is Saquon Barkley, he's going to give me points, then I think you keep him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, he's still getting the receiving yards. At the end of the game, they started dumping the ball to him. So I mean, there is a chance that he's going to get trash points.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like Deshaun Watson for the Texans. He's going to get those trash points at the end of the game if they're losing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I do like Darius Slayton. I did, like I said, I made him as my captain. I didn't get to do the Tennessee game, but
I didn't get to finish it. I thought Drew Lock and them were going to win.
bro, I watched that whole game because
Yeah.
with me and Emo's matchup,
Yeah, that's what Emo's saying here.
It was a very tumultuous game throughout because Gordon and Lindsey were kind of going back and forth, and then in the fourth quarter, Lindsey goes down with an injury, the running back for the Denver Broncos, and Gordon just starts chipping, and then he breaks, and then I'm like, oh no. And then when he scored a touchdown, it was like within 2 points, and the Broncos were coming back, and I thought Derrick Henry was going to just like churn out that last drive with like 4 minutes left. They throw 3 straight passes. Titans throw 3 straight passes late in the fourth, turn the ball back over, and Denver tries to run the ball again, and then Emo gets his W by 0.06 points.
0.0.
And I was like, you know what? I thought I had it because I had 138.5. He had 137.86.
And that's one of those things where, like, if they go back the next day and they make any adjustments,
yeah, and that's kind of what I was hoping. I was like, it's midnight.
You're the commissioner. You can
It's
just
midnight right now, but I didn't want. I had already pulled off some moves.
Yeah.
BJ was really excited about, and I was looking at it. I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed with this loss, and I'm gonna wake up. I was trying to speak it into existence. I'm
Yeah.
gonna wake up, and I'm gonna have a W. And I woke up, and I still had an L.
You know who's really good is what's the tight end for the Broncos? Is that
Noah
Fant?
Fant?
Noah Fant.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's gonna be good.
I got him in one of my leagues.
He's gonna be legit.
Let's see. Emo says he also called the kicker's kick.
Emo,
Damn.
but that was kind of we kind of knew that one.
I mean, come on, dude.
Gostkowski, bro, was garbage in that game. He missed 3 field goals and an extra point, but had the game winner. Go figure.
Yeah. So Tennessee 16, Denver 14. Exciting to have the NFL back. And we'll have another week too coming up. Our Recon Athlete, episode 109. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Lucero. Shout out to Snoop Daniel over in the green room. Shout out to everybody on the watch party as well. Where we going now, fellas? Sticking with football?
A little NBA, maybe.
You want to do NBA?
I mean, I can't believe the Clippers lost.
Really?
I can. I saw that score and I'm like,
really?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
With Beverly playing and Kawhi playing, I was like, they're gonna get it done.
And they lost.
And they got smoked.
3 games in a row.
Smoked.
I think when you think about the Clippers, though, you think of Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George has been just a non-factor, like almost the whole bubble. I mean, like, so, and I mean, then you're Kawhi Leonard going against Joker, going against Jamal Murray. They just have better pieces, you know?
I mean, Doc Rivers.
I'm out on Doc Rivers.
Really?
I'm in on Austin Rivers, out on Doc Rivers.
Speaking of Austin Rivers, you hear that Ty Lue or Van Gundy coming in to coach Houston? Bro, just leave that. Just look, Fertitta, that's the owner of the Houston Rockets. Fertitta, just don't hire Ty Lue, please.
No?
If you're gonna hire Ty Lue, go get LeBron from Lakers if you can.
You think so?
Well, there was a rumor mill last year that LeBron wanted to go to Houston for whatever reason and never materialized. He went to the Lakers. And
Man, there was a rumor that LeBron was going to go to the Green Bay Packers. That's the rumor for him.
That probably was when he was coming out of high school in Ohio. I wouldn't have doubt that.
Yeah. Emo wants us to talk about the Big Ten. But
Guess who's back?
Yeah.
Back
I know I should have had that.
I know.
So shout out to Emo. But yeah.
Did y'all see that GIF I put on Recon's page or Recon's stories on Instagram?
I didn't. Did you?
No.
Bro, it's shout out ESPN because I took it from y'all. But it's Big Bird kicking down a door.
Oh.
And it's Eminem's Guess
Why,
Who's Back song.
Why do we think that what are the reasons Big Ten gave, and why do you think that the real reason is? And
That's my reason.
And do you think it had to do with the fact that everybody else is playing these football games?
Goddamn right.
And they're saying, oh, well, everybody else has played. Why don't we play too?
Well, didn't they never release the reports or whatever of why they didn't have it?
Some stuff has come out.
Yeah.
And then I think, especially because you're seeing majority almost of schools have fans in the stands, it's just so much money that you're missing out on.
Yeah, even if it is like 25% capacity,
right?
It's still something.
Yeah, I think a lot of what you're seeing right now is, especially kind of what we're more focused on, or not more focused, but we're more experts at, is like the high school level. There's high school football nationwide, especially in Ohio. And so if you're talking about the Midwest having high school football games, and you have kids who are in their dorms or in their facilities who are watching their peers play on Friday, Saturday, maybe even Sunday nights in some games, they're like
on ESPN.
And I've been monitoring Twitter during those days, and I see kids who are from Austin who play in the Big Ten, and they're like, "What am I doing? Why am I here?"
Yeah,
it's like they kind of feel left out when they could very well be. Maybe they would have stayed closer to home. They would have been playing, and they know. And I think their parents, in addition to petitions and organizations, them doing the groundwork and a grassroots effort to kind of persuade the governing bodies, the authoritative body, to get them to kind of see it from their point. Because I think you had, especially in these presidential discussions, you had, intellectuals.
Yeah.
And then you didn't have a common person. And so the common person is going to be more in tune with what's going on in the real world, day-to-day activities. And the intellectual who may not be in the day-to-day activities may not understand.
From their ivory towers.
I don't know, from any tower. It's not a tower I have. I know that. And so you kind of have to have both those individuals to make a collective decision, because the players and the families, they come from the common people. They're not elites, quote unquote. And so I think there was a
majority of them. Yeah,
there was a one-sided argument, and I think a lot of the lawyers were saying, "Look, we're going to get sued if something happens," and the common people were like, "Why don't you let us decide, and we'll take the risk." because we're going to be the ones participating.
I'm a lawyer.
And so there you go. We've had the discussion. Not to mention
money. Zach?
Yeah, and I agree with Paul. I mean, you've already seen, even like as close to home as University of Texas, a dude scored on Saturday, Brennan Schooler, who transferred from Oregon to Arizona, and Arizona said they weren't going to play, so he transferred to Texas. And I mean, that goes to show like these schools can't just sit back and not play, especially the Big Ten. I mean, because I don't think they are playing high school football in California. So I mean, the Pac-10 maybe that makes a little more sense, but the Big Ten weren't as relevant as they are in football, and the sports are going on like in their cities, and it had to. But I think scheduling is going to be weird. Like an October start, that's so wild.
Half away.
That's so wild to think.
October 24th, and then they're going to play 8 games, and the championship game I think is December 19th or something like that.
The only real adjustment is they had a 9-game Big Ten schedule, so now they're just shaving it by 1 game.
Yes, they get 8.
So it's
8
easier for them to kind of manage that way. So, somebody just says, "Go ahead, let's just scratch Ohio State off our schedule." Okay, make sure get it done.
Yeah, and it's going to be fun at the end of the year when they have to do when they all have to vote on who's going to get into the college football playoff.
Talking about the playoff committee?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, strength of schedule.
Strength of schedule. I mean,
who did you play? Oh, you just played Big 10. Oh, who did the SEC play? Oh, who did the Big 12 play? How about the non-Power 5, the G5 schools? We get an undefeated G5 school in there?
Nah,
bro.
No, it's gonna be conference champions.
Are we gonna get a 3-loss SEC team in there?
It'll be conference champions, like you said, and then a wild card.
Yeah, Big Ten or SEC.
Do they entertain a 3-loss Power 5 school
as the wild card?
Yeah,
but
possibly.
I don't think because there's not enough games for people to have 3 losses. I don't think.
Maybe.
Because the SEC, I don't think someone will be relevant and lose twice in the regular season and then once in the conference championship.
I could see Georgia or Florida doing that.
Who would they lose to?
I don't know. I mean, that's why it's a crazy season. What if they have COVID scratches? What if they have? That's why I'm saying the possibilities are too numerous to kind of identify. But I'm just saying, as far as hypothetical, would they entertain it?
And I think, I'm like saying this hopefully, cautiously optimistic. I don't think COVID's going to be as big of a deal for these big time schools.
Football beat COVID. Mark it.
Because Texas is a big deal. I mean, UTEP isn't even a big deal, and they came into that game with no positive tests on either side.
Cooking the books.
They're cooking the books.
Well, even then
still beat it.
They won't. It's not going to be like Texas State where to start conference
Zach.
play, Sam Ellinger can't play. You know
our starting quarterback was a COVID scratch.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's killing me, man.
Did he have COVID or he was exposed?
Nobody can prove it, and they're not going to release it for HIPAA due to HIPAA. Yeah. So either he contact traced it or he had it, but we don't know.
Yeah, and they're not going to so Zach, like you're saying that they're going to have more stringent rules and things for these bigger schools, and maybe they'll
honestly do
what they need to do.
Say Sam Ellinger gets it,
wear masks.
Gets it on
don't bring people in their dorms.
Gets it on a Monday. They're gonna have him quarantined and test him again 15 minutes before the game on Saturday.
Yeah,
and if that thing is negative, he's out there.
Here's your sign.
All right.
So what are we talking? Are we talking about NBA now? Are we talking about college football? What do we do?
We went back and forth. I don't know. Are we sticking with NBA?
Did y'all watch that Texas game?
Yes.
I watched that.
Dude,
are we impressed?
UTEP has been the last couple of years literally the worst FBS team in college football.
So that's what I'm saying. Are we impressed?
But
just go ahead.
I think Texas look good, dude. I think schematically on offense, I think they look good.
Okay.
I think the new pieces, Tariq Black is going to be a problem. Brennan Schooler, I don't think he's going to be as big of a factor as he looked like on Saturday, but I think he's going to be good. Jordan Whittington is glass, so I didn't really expect him to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Regardless, Jake Smith getting back is going to be huge. Yep. Joshua Moore looked incredible. Rashawn Johnson didn't miss a beat. Bijan Robinson looked good.
Did some homework.
I mean, everybody looked good though.
No, but I mean,
that was the thing. I was like, that's why I was just kind of like, I mean,
see, I was like analyzing up until someone would try to tackle them. Then I would like stop grading.
We're cautiously optimistic
because like, but getting up to the point where someone would tackle them, they look good.
Oh, okay.
You know, and I mean, when you play, I almost said when you play Texas Tech, but that not even happened. When you play Oklahoma State or something like that, they're probably going to make those tackles. But you're still running the same scheme to get to that point. I can tell the difference in the offense. The defensive line, again, like it's UTEP, but that's the best pieces on the Texas defensive line I've seen in a long time.
All I got to say is you mentioned Texas Tech, and, man, shout out to Houston Baptist.
I messaged in the group. I was like, you should have put that money on Houston Baptist. You're like, nah, I shouldn't have.
Bro,
and they ended up winning. So I was like, why did you say that?
Suspect.
So that's the next game for the Longhorns.
Yes.
2 weeks.
2 weeks on September 26th. They are at Texas Tech. Yeah. Yeah, no, and shout out to Reed. Shout out to Texas Point Outdoors.
That's where he graduated from, right?
Yeah, Reed's a Red Raider.
Southland Strong.
Yeah, and that's and he was in one of our text messages that we got going on for the Wastewood League. You know, Reed was just like, he was dogging on his Red Raiders.
Oh, was
he was being self-deprecating for sure because he was like, man, he goes, Houston Baptist, you missed that extra or that 2-point conversion. They're terrible. And then he's like, ... So are we. Like,
first of all, that was a terrible 2-point conversion play.
It really was.
Like, that's a 2-point conversion play that you run in Southland Conference where you throw it up to your all conference receiver. You don't do that against the FBS school. But imagine being a corner, starting for Texas Tech, and getting burned by someone that's going to Houston Baptist. I mean, we talked about this when we were talking about somebody else. Is like they don't recruit the same people.
You don't recruit the same type of athlete.
They don't even look.
Here's like something interesting. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Caden Stern's brothers are DBs for Houston Baptist.
The receivers, I think.
Oh, is it the receivers?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, they obviously have a little bit of talent if Caden Stern's brothers are playing.
But at the same time,
I mean, I get it.
If they had a little more talent, they would be at a place like Texas instantly with how much they love Caden Stearns.
And that doesn't mean that they can't transfer in after
their sophomore year. It wouldn't surprise me if in 2 years that quarterback for Houston Baptist is starting at Texas Tech.
Or a Power 5 school.
But Texas Tech even.
Are you saying like that?
It wouldn't surprise.
Okay.
Like,
all right.
The type of offense that they run at Tech, like and they got to see this dude firsthand.
Recruiting 101.
Yeah, if that's the mindset I'm going in there with it, I'm that quarterback because being at a school like UIW, everyone on the football team is like, I should be at a FBS. I should be at Texas Tech. I should be at Texas. That's just how they think. When in reality, they're probably not. But that's how they think. If that quarterback stepped onto that field being like, I should be playing here. I'm going to outplay Bowman or whatever his name is. Who was super hyped for a long time. He's like, I'm better than him. And I'm going to show you. And he did.
Yeah. And there are tickets available for that Texas versus Texas Tech Red Raiders game next week. So they start as low as $101.
It's in Lubbock.
It's in Lubbock.
Tortillas gonna be flying.
Yeah. I'm surprised that there wasn't tortillas. There was no fans, right? At the Houston Baptist game, or there was?
No, there was fans.
Man, they must have thrown their tortillas early.
They've outlawed that.
But so does Houston Baptist?
Why? Because it's racist, or
no? I think just because it's too much of a problem to clean up.
No, tortillas are too delicious to waste.
They are delicious.
I mean, yeah. Why would you waste tortillas like that? I never got that tradition.
So anyway. Southland moved their football season to the spring. So does Houston Baptist turn around and play a conference schedule in the spring, I guess? Or does schools like Houston Baptist, Central Arkansas not play a conference schedule because they played games in the spring?
We're going to find out. I mean,
I don't know.
I would assume they would because they're part of the conference. They're a member of that conference. And so, I just don't think that if you really had the safety and security of student athletes in mind, you'd allow that, but
because Central Arkansas is playing that game against North Dakota State in like October, so they're gonna play a game in October if that's the last game, and then wait 2 months and start a conference schedule.
Man, I wouldn't do that, dude.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. I mean, and now granted, the kids
But are they
the kids will
contractually
be-
obligated to play a
the
conference
kids will be
schedule?
down.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know about that, but I mean, I'm sure the kids will be down. The kids will play whenever.
Yeah,
they'll
they'll play all year if
They're
they
gonna,
could.
yeah, they're going to play whenever. It doesn't matter to them. But that's when the coaches and administrators have to step up and say, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea for them to play football games, take 2 months off, try to get ready again, and then put them back out on the field.
Again,
There's no way your body can recover.
and you're
from the
playing
season
against
that way.
fresh people.
Correct.
Yeah, so I mean, doesn't make any sense, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
So did
We'll see
you get anything from that Texas game?
I mean, what I got from the Texas game was that they did what they were supposed to do. They went out there, they ran all over the place. They did what they wanted to do.
And they don't normally do that.
And they don't. That's what I'm saying. They don't normally. They haven't looked like that in a while. They haven't come out and just like demolished somebody.
Been a 44-point favorite and win by
And
44
you're-
points. Yeah.
Yeah, covering something like that.
Man, that optimism looks good on y'all too.
But I'm just saying.
But looking at the
They-
Big 12, who else?
Right. They haven't looked like that. They haven't looked like a team that is supposed to run over the opposition,
yeah.
and then they do it.
Right.
They haven't looked like that in the past few years. They look like that on Saturday. Granted,
I think it's warranted optimism too, especially playing only a conference schedule.
Mm-hmm.
The conference is so bad. I mean, Iowa State, Brock Purdy was big name come into the season.
They lose.
It's
Who'd they
obviously
lose
not
to?
going to be them. Playing at Kansas State this year was supposed to be like a huge factor. Like you never win at Kansas. Texas hasn't won at Kansas State in forever.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not going to be a thing this year after what they did. I mean, maybe West Virginia is better than we thought. It's not going to be Tech.
The only team that I think that Texas has any concern with is the only team that always gives them trouble, and that's in Norman.
I think Oklahoma State too.
I don't think so. I think there's some rift between the coach and his players that's kind of overlapped from the offseason, and I don't know how well.
Not on that ESPN Plus
Yeah, I mean,
TV show. They look fine.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure ESPN wants to frame it that way so that he can get people to keep watching. But that's just kind of where I'm at with it. But the number one team on Texas's radar, when the time comes, is Oklahoma.
Yeah. And
that's it.
And this is another thing that I saw it and read about it, or I heard about it, but I didn't really look into it a lot because I was working during the game. But shout out to the Sarge on the watch party, and shout out to Lions Pride Sports Broadcast as well. BJ Foster leaving the field in the third quarter. What was
Playing time?
Yeah,
is that what it was?
I mean,
Because it seemed
water
like
under the bridge.
because it seemed like a big deal. I mean, like I saw a bunch of you
the
see it on
moment.
Twitter, and you see a lot of things.
Chris Boyd said he was going to transfer to A&M one time, and he ended up being one of the best Longhorn set corner in a while.
I think a lot of it had to do with there was a regime change on defense, and football is like a meritocracy, and it's all about what you've done and leading up to that point. And these coaches may have not had the same relationship with the DBs. And
with
so,
an injured BJ Foster,
And so with all that time kind of being brought up, I think that he believed he needed more time to play. And I mean, was it a big win? Hell yeah, it was a big win. He maybe wanted to get some extra reps, and they pulled him, and he got pissed, and he said, I'm out. And then Coach Herman went to talk to him, and everything's fine. But it's kind of one of those things where players have a big voice now, and they're going to exercise it. And he was in the heat of the moment, and a lot of 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds may not make the best decision in the heat of the moment. I did it, and so he made one, and he said, "Hey, let's walk it back." I think it was a good idea.
Okay, fair enough. So he gets another chance.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Yeah,
He deserves it.
And I think it's tough too, like coming into a regime change when you're one of the main guys in the few years past, highly recruited out of high school, big factor on the defense. And then you're hurt, and then you're coming in as a hurt player under a new coaching staff. When you have guys like Josh Thompson, you have guys like Chris Brown at Overshown at your same kind of positions that are healthy, that are productive, that are getting the fresh start under this new coach. So I wouldn't be surprised if his playing time doesn't change much from where it is now.
Mark my words. I think that he will be a contributing factor in a huge game.
I think he should
help
be.
them win.
I think he should be.
And I got a really good feeling it may come like in this next game coming up because I think he's going to want something to prove.
I mean, they'll probably Well, they should be.
Yeah, good way.
They should be rolling over Texas Tech. But we'll see.
Yes.
We'll see. 59-3 big win for the Longhorns over UTEP. And we're still creeping along in the high school football scene.
Yeah, lots of. We had another big matchup. There's another big matchup that we'll talk about probably later on off the air. But
but there was one. Go ahead.
So to talk about Texas real quick.
Yeah.
I think Texas has done a very good job navigating the offseason with, like, because I mean, you start out at this high when Tom Herman's really the first big coach to speak out with their players in mind in terms of like the social justice issues, and you're like at this peak when you're thinking like that's really awesome of him to do, and then you have everything going on with the Eyes of Texas and the players saying they're not going to play. If you tuned in on Saturday, all the players that said they weren't going to play played.
yeah,
All the players that said we're not going to play unless there's a change, they all played. So I think you potentially had all of those things working against you, and to be at a point where they looked as good as they did with the players that played, I think that's a big deal. So I commend them on that. But one more thing I want to talk about with high school football or with college football is they released updated like Heisman odds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Added to the list is our boy JT Daniels.
All right.
For Georgia, transfer from USC.
USC? Yeah.
Because Jamie Newman opted out. So he was a Heisman candidate for them, transfer from Wake Forest. He opted out, so now they're giving that stock to JT Daniels, which I think is awesome. I hope he does really well. They added Kyle Trask is on the list for Florida, and they also added the Louisville quarterback to the Heisman watch list too.
Okay.
I didn't watch much of that game. Probably I don't think anybody did. But that could be a name to keep our eyes on. Is
Sam on that list?
Yeah, he's on the list. Yeah,
Sam was on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
and he was like already on the list too, so his
Yeah,
stock just rose from the new one.
Yeah, I think he, if they go undefeated, I think it's his.
And I think that's why he came out and still played in the second half, is because they're all in on him trying to win it this year.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just it took him a while to get to Hudson, but
I think that was a good thing because you want to pad stats, because a lot of times when, especially in an evening game like they were playing at 7:00, maybe there's some Heisman voters who are watching other games and then they tuned into the Horns just kind of see what was going on, and luckily Sam was still playing, and I think that matters in the Heisman voting.
And I think people forget too. People forget about Casey Thompson. I think Texas likes him. So I think their goal was to get Casey Thompson as much playing time as they could, not let's get Hudson Card in this game. I think it was let's get Casey Thompson as much playing time as we can and try to get Hudson Card in the game.
Yeah, but when you're up that big, you kind of got to get third guy in there. So do we think we're going to see Jaquindon Jackson at all this year?
He talked. Did you see? He talked about him and
Herman
Tom
did?
Herman. Yeah, he basically said that that he's like practicing and he's healthy, but he doesn't think he's fully healthy yet, and he's gonna wait until he feels like he's fully healthy. And like, don't be surprised if you see him in a game. And Jaquindon Jackson, like, let me see if I can find it.
You know what I just heard? I just heard there's a special package for Jaquindon Jackson in a high-profile game where they may use him like they did Tebow at Florida. That's kind of what I'm hearing.
Herman said freshman quarterback Jaquindon Jackson is medically available, but probably needs more time to rebuild his confidence after the knee injury. Quotes, I'd like to get JJ into a game at some point. And Jaquindon Jackson, like, quote tweeted it, would put like ... and then like the praying hands. So I don't know what that means. I don't know to me, I read that as like him saying like, okay, I don't really know how to take this. Like, are you saying you don't have faith in me? And then him just kind of chalking up to like, whatever, like I have faith in whatever.
No, I think it's kind of like, I'll be ready. I'll be waiting. I'm grateful that you said that. I'll be waiting. That's kind of the way I took that.
But I do think the fact, I mean, it's probably just good reporting by someone to ask about it.
For sure.
But I think the fact that like Tom Herman is able to say like I want to try to get him to play is reassuring to me, because I mean I've talked on the show where I don't think he's going to get the opportunity that he deserves. But if Tom Herman is actively thinking about getting him into the game, then I think he's going to get a fair shot.
It's gonna be a late game against Oklahoma. And they're gonna be like, let's run the JJ, and Jaquindon. There's that package is gonna come in for Jaquindon Jackson, and it's gonna be Sam and Jaquindon in the backfield,
like that old 18-wheeler package.
bro. Like, yeah, what was it? Bell,
Blake Bell
at Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah. But what was the guy that we had? The 18-wheeler package? Was
Tyrone
it?
Swoops.
Tyrone Swoops.
Yeah.
I mean, because you
They
could
like that.
you could run anything off of that. You
could toss it to Jaquindon Jackson, and Jaquindon Jackson can throw it to Roshan Johnson, and then he could throw it. It's like 8 quarterbacks.
I like
Hudson
that
Card at receiver and let him run backwards and let him catch a lateral.
Yeah,
Bro,
5
I like
quarterbacks.
that zone read where the zone read comes down, you read the end, and if that's caught up, you just pitch it back inside, and maybe that's Roshan Johnson coming inside.
Well,
Yeah, put Hudson out. Yeah, that we have 4 quarterbacks on the field.
Just that play that play that Hudson Card ran too, where he gained like a pretty good chunk of yards, where he like rolled out, and it was almost like a RPO, but the pitch man was like real. I don't know if that's Malcolm Epps just being terrible, but it was like really far away, and he like threw it to him, and I think that just goes to show the creativity that the new offensive coordinator is able to have because of the guys that are on the roster. Like you could do that with Hudson Card. You could probably do that with Jaquindon Jackson. You could do that with Sam Ehlinger. You can't do that with anybody else. Trevor Lawrence isn't doing that.
No.
That's true.
You know, like JT Daniels isn't doing that. Spencer Rattler's not doing that. Like these are probably the fastest, able-bodied like running quarterbacks that
Since Vince.
Well, I don't even know about like just for Vince, but just that we've seen in college football in a while.
So hey, coach, put that out there. Put that. I want to see that formation when all 4 quarterbacks are.
We might see it.
All 4 quarterbacks are on the field at the same time.
And Bijan Robinson is split out in the slot.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Because what do you do as a defense? Like anybody back there could potentially.
Hudson Card played receiver in high school.
Yeah, and I'm just saying. But I mean, I guess anybody at any point could potentially throw the football. But when you have like 4 legitimate like arms, people that know how to throw the football, like a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that are like the explosive threat. Because I mean, normally you see like when they run a wildcat, like UTEP did it, and they put the quarterback out wide, and the corner that's guarding him is like 5 yards inside of that player because they know he's not doing anything.
Tom Herman's like, we all shut the hell up.
Yeah, because I mean, like you have to guard these guys.
Sorry, coach.
Yeah, sorry, coach. We're gonna do. So, anything else there? You good?
Are there any games this?
There's
weekend?
one on Friday. College game.
Is all the Big 12 off until next week?
I don't know.
I haven't seen
I
on there.
I want to say I thought Oklahoma played Kansas State, but I don't know if that's correct.
I'll have to look here. Let me look at the schedule, as they say in the UK. Friday or no? Hold on. What week am I on here?
Oh, so we got a couple big matchups for Big 12.
Week 3. We're in week 3, right? In college.
Yes.
Okay.
That 11:00 matchup
On Friday?
on Saturday.
On Saturday. Tulsa and Oklahoma State.
H-Town.
I'm looking. Oh, Houston and Baylor.
11:00 kick.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see Baylor got their first game postponed or canceled or whatever,
Yeah,
so
this
we
is
didn't get
gonna
to
be
see
their
them.
first game.
And I think that also has a lot to do with like this sense of optimism that Texas fans have is like Baylor didn't play, Oklahoma State didn't play, so when you think of the Big 12, you'd think of the teams that played terrible, and you're like, oh, we can beat them. But Baylor and Oklahoma State both have the chances of being pretty big factors in the conference this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to look to see if there's anybody else, any other big games. Syracuse at Pittsburgh. That's a pretty good matchup, I guess. I mean, nothing.
Shout out all these small schools getting TV time.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, recruiting.
Like what is that?
This is
Liberty in Western Kentucky on
ESPNU. Yeah.
Not ESPN3.
Yeah.
ESPNU.
Thank you.
Let's see. Boston College at Duke. That's an 11 a.m. game.
Navy Tulane is on ABC.
I mean, yeah. Stephen F. Austin versus UTSA is on ESPN3 at 2 p.m.
That game is always going to be on ESPN3.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Charlotte and North Carolina. Charlotte versus North Carolina, not Charlotte, North Carolina. But the University of, I guess, Charlotte. That's on ESPN3.
UCF, Georgia Tech.
2:30 ABC.
Georgia Tech
That'd be a good game.
They're not fun to watch anymore because they don't do the option.
Watch Navy then.
Let's see. The Citadel playing Clemson. Shout out to Wes on that one.
On ESPN, Florida Atlantic, Georgia Southern.
Lane Kiffin, bro. Lane Kiffin.
Let's see. Where were we at? Oh, SMU in North Texas.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's going to be on CBS Sports Network at 5 o'clock.
This is a good one.
Yeah, Miami at Louisville.
The late game on ABC.
Oh, De'Aaron King, and do we know who the
De'Aaron King is also on the Heisman list. I don't know his name.
Miami at Louisville. Not Louisville, by the way.
Louisville.
Texas State and Louisiana Monroe, 6:30.
Yay.
That's going to be on ESPNU.
Yeah, we getting that dub this week as long as McBride keeps us in the pants.
Alabama Christian at UTEP. Made me like snorting here.
Delayed reaction.
ESPN 3. Let's see. In the postponements, Virginia at Virginia Tech, BYU at Army, Central Arkansas at Arkansas State. Postponed. So was Houston at Memphis.
Houston playing Baylor.
Why does it say? Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, so I guess that was a
scratch.
Scratch. Okay. So there's a few games this weekend that we're going to check out.
That Miami Louisville game is probably the best game that's been on all year.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Manny Diaz.
But that dude, the Sun Belt minus Texas State, damn it. They've been they owned the Big 12 last week. I mean, they had some good wins over the Big 12. So Louisiana beat Iowa State, and then Arkansas State beat K-State. Mm-hmm. So those are some heavy wins right there on the road too. Both those games. So Sun Belt doing a little representing. Minus Texas State. Spab it, I'll fix it.
Yeah. I want to shout out the Dallas Stars real quick before we get into high school.
I put them on the story.
Dallas Stars. Shout out to Wes, who's a big Stars fan as well. Going in Kalunga. They're going to the Stanley Cup Finals first time since the year 2000. The year 2000.
That was 20 years ago.
So yeah, I think was it 4-0 or 5-0 in overtime?
I don't know. All I know is they beat the Vegas Knights.
Yeah, like they had 4 or 5 games to go to overtime in the playoffs, and they've won every single one. So
every series has gone to the overtime?
No, the overtime games.
Oh, okay.
So they had overtime games in the playoffs, and they won every single one of those. So are they playing the Islanders or the
I don't know.
Probably
if that series is
the
over.
Canucks.
or the Lightning?
Probably the Canucks.
No, bro.
Wes, let us know in the watch party if you're still watching.
I don't know. I think he stopped watching.
In
when we started talking.
I think
he stopped.
Called, the Blackhawks. That team?
Chicago.
Yeah.
Are they getting? Do they have to get a name change?
I don't think so. It's hockey.
Isn't there
hockey?
It's hockey, bro.
Isn't there like jersey like a big Indian on it?
Yeah, it's hockey.
Yeah,
though.
dude.
Is that allowed?
It's hockey, dude. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Yeah, I don't think he's. I think since we started talking about Texas football, he got off the watch party.
I thought Wes don't like football. I mean Texas football. Or
No, he's an Arkansas
Longhorns? He likes the Razorbacks.
fan. Yeah, he's Arkansas.
So Wes,
Razorback.
I have some information about the Arkansas Razorbacks when the time comes.
Okay, all right. But the Dallas Stars are gonna play. Who are they playing? How do I look up hockey?
You click the.
You have to
He had to go
the stick.
real far.
You gotta go to the.
Scroll down.
You gotta go to the more. Let's see.
More sports.
More sports, or
It should say NHL with their shield. It doesn't say that.
I mean MLB. Where are they?
NHL, right, down.
Way over here by NASCAR.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on, ESPN.
Basically.
Golly, you can give some NHL some love, bro. They're over there like hanging out by NASCAR.
So it looks like mañana they play the Lightning and the Islanders
Okay.
at 7:00 for. Looks like
That's games.
Tampa Bay
Ooh,
has
that's
the
gonna be a
lead
must
3-2.
watch.
Yeah.
Must watch right there.
I mean, I hear there's a good way to make some money off of these hockey games if you know the right handicappers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I think you can bet on like who's gonna score.
Yeah, you can bet on that or who's going to win or like who's going to win the period, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Interesting. So shout out to Dallas Stars. We'll talk some more of that, I guess, coming up because they probably won't start.
They have to wait for this series
Saturday.
to be over.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get I'll try to get Wes to call in or something or
Yeah.
stop by, talk some Dallas Stars hockey. High school football still happening. Emo said something about Shadow Creek and North Shore. I don't know. Is that a thing? Is that this weekend?
They don't start until
I
October.
was about to say. I was like, no,
They're
they
in
don't.
Houston.
I was like, dude, they're not playing. We had a game canceled, postponed.
Yes, Lexington and Cameron Yo was
Yeoman.
postponed Lexington is looking for a new opponent for Friday. Kind of late notice. Unsure if they'll figure that out. But if they do, we'll release it on Twitter for sure.
All right. Who else we got going on Friday night?
The biggest matchup that I kind of wanted to look at was Rockdale's coming off that defeat from Lexington. So they're going to be facing off with a 4A opponent, number 7, Bellevue.
Okay.
Yeah, so Bellevue just climbed up the ranks, the Bellevue Brahmas. So Rockdale and their stars, Cameron Valdez, Ty Dansbury, Kobe Mitchell. Shout out to Kobe Mitchell. It's his birthday on Monday, I believe. So he's going to hopefully get his 17th birthday with a W. But Bellevue, 4A D2, bro. Moving up in weight class, coming off of L. And they got some heavy hitters too. And I just wanted to make sure that people knew the names. Roby, I think this is Roby Reese, and then Robert Briggs. Roby Reese has 600 yards, over 600 yards rushing in 3 games, and lose that 6 touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
So he's been doing some work. They're a heavy run team, and Rockdale's a little bit more balanced. So I'm looking for Kobe Mitchell to kind of get a little bit of redemption, because last week it was actually Jared Kerr and Jeremiah Jackson who stopped him on a 2-point conversion at the 1. So hopefully he's looking for some redemption. But tough matchup. I think Rockdale gets the win. They're going to be at home at Tiger Stadium. I'm picking Rockdale to pick up the W, 41-34. Tight game, 7-point win.
Nice. All right. High school football still rolling along. We got 5A and 6A happening next weekend. Friday night flex. You guys are still doing that. Zach, you doing it this Friday, right?
No, it's a reflex episode. So just playing best of.
Oh, for real?
Snoop's gonna be at. I might go with them too. Snoop's gonna be at some games, some scrimmages.
Oh, it's gonna be called Reflex.
Yep.
Oh, okay, cool. Best of.
Yep.
Man, that's how good of a show that's getting put on. You can already
Bro,
You can already have best of.
Dude, they got like 23 in the hole.
Best of already. Dang.
Yeah, already, man.
No.
Reflex.
We don't even have. We've done 108 episodes. We don't even have a best of yet. All right, that's what's up.
And it's reflex, not reflux.
Yeah, reflex. Yeah,
not acid reflux.
Yeah, kind of like what I have sometimes when I get Topo Chico.
Yeah.
All right, Recon Athlete, episode 109. Chris Sanchez, Paul Rodriguez, Zach Luceto. Zach, when are we gonna talk about Top Boy?
Whenever you get back on it, you told
me. Dude,
I'm
on it, man.
You told me you were off.
No,
you said you started watching something else.
No, I've been on it.
Nah, dude, you told me you were off. I've been waiting for you.
Whatever.
All right, Saturday.
All right,
we're reviewing to 6.
Okay, I'm on 7 at least.
Well, you got me all messed up because you told me you were off.
All right, Top Boy. Any albums I need to hear lately?
No.
We don't have to review, but just anything that come out that I should check out.
Really, no.
Now, what are you listening to? I mean, what are the millennials are listening to right now?
I've been liking 24K Golden lately. Snoop will know who that is. Y'all will.
Okay. Yeah, we won't know.
Who else? What else?
I've been listening to.
Neither does anybody else.
I've been listening to Alan Jackson's 34 number 1 hits.
No, you haven't.
Best of?
Yes, I have.
What's 2 of them?
Wanted.
Okay.
Achy Breaky Heart.
That's wrong.
No.
Don't Go Breaking My Heart.
I like Wanted's my favorite. And then the other one is
say the best
Chasing
one.
Chasing the Neon Rainbow.
Okay, that's a good one.
Amarillo by Morning.
I like Wanted. That's George Strait.
Oh dang.
I like Blues Man. It's
Rodeo.
It's a remake, but Blues Man is really good by Alan Jackson. I like that one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I like the way his spin on it because he puts a little more twang on it than Hank Williams Jr.
Yeah.
Troubadour.
That's George Strait, man. Snoop does Chattahoochee for karaoke. That's his karaoke.
No.
Yeah, that's his karaoke song.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. He does Chattahoochee.
Well, let's see if we can do it. Get him to do it on Coke FM.
I don't know. He'll do it at Common Interest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we go to CI.
All
Just give him a couple of
Gatorades.
Yeah, he'll get up there. I synced it.
I believe you.
So all right, yeah.
Electric Mimosa.
The Electric Mimosas over at the Red.
Yeah, that thing looks dangerous.
It is. All right, Zach. Shout outs.
Yeah. Shout out the empty Topo Chico.
I need to go to Costco and get me some Topos.
See if they got any
Dr.
Pepper creams over there.
Soccer moms.
You what?
See if they got any Dr. Pepper creams over there when you go.
Okay, I'll let you know.
You're gonna be finding them soccer moms, bro.
Dude, they don't get Topo Chico, dude.
They do, dude.
No, they don't.
Who gets it?
Mexicans,
gente?
man. The
The
gente,
gente.
dude. The gente.
I got some feedback about that word, just so you know.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, they don't like saying when I say that.
Some people.
Aw.
I just said that. We'll change it to the gente.
Oh, okay. All right.
They still love you though.
Good show, boys.
We're not quite through yet.
Yeah. Shout outs. Oh,
Yeah,
what you got?
I got a little something. I kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I put some words together. We were kind of asked by someone to kind of put this together, so I just want to give a quick shout out to Desmond Pulliam of the Lockhart Fighting Lions, and this is what I had to say about Desmond. For most seniors, the last play will be on a chilly winter Friday night. For Desmond Pulliam, it could very well be on a warm night in September. Most days you can find Desmond in a classroom at Lockhart High School. He keeps busy by conforming to the discipline of the junior ROTC, the precision regimen of the roaring Lockhart band, and strapped up every Friday night at Lions Stadium. But most days, a person this active let me just start all over because that was just getting a little choked up here.
That's all right, man.
A person this active and detailed has to be unique. See, Desmond is autistic. His strengths are in the details. Uniformity gives him an advantage over his peers in his extracurricular activities. Games will be played and players will score. All the seniors will play. And at the end of the season, as the coach swaps his rosters for seniors only on the last play, we have to look back where we might just find Desmond on a warm September night. And you know what? He might just score on the last play.
Well said, Paul.
Well said, Paul. Good job, man. That's your shout out, right?
That's my shout out.
All right, man. I'm going to shout out to God and my parents. And, of course, everybody on the watch party and Snoop Daniel over there.
Yeah.
And we'll see y'all on Saturday. And we'll talk college football,
Yeah, man. Looking forward
high
to
school
that.
football, NFL football.
We'll have to have Snoop on to talk about what he saw at some of the scrimmages.
Okay. I mean, he's... You have to...
a lot of them are going to be streamed.
Oh, really? The scrimmages?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we can stream
I'm
that.
going to be watching a few. I'm watching Lockhart Bash Up tomorrow, and then I'm probably going to watch Westlake Cedar Park.
I think you can go to the one that's at Kelly Reeves.
Yeah, for me to travel all the way up there from Lockhart, so it's quite a hike. But if I could just do it online, it's probably going to do it. Now that I know that I don't have to call in 7 and 8 o'clock, makes things a little easier.
All right. We'll see y'all Saturday morning, 10:30. Paul, do your thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are enjoying the podcast, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. And everybody on YouTube, hit the bell. We'll let you know when we upload. We out.